Welcome to a video from thislife.com. In this video, I'm going to explain a bit about the filters on the multi-poly. I was originally going to do this as a 5-minute tutorial and kind of ran out of time, so I've decided to extend this. I think we're probably going to go about 10 minutes. So I'm not going to go super deep into it. I've got a video on the architecture of the synth and how you can combine multiple filters and so on. I'm just going to talk about the difference between the filters and what these two filters can do. Why have you got two filters? So let's talk about why we've got two filters. First of all, we've got two filters that can have completely independent. They have their own envelopes, their own LFOs, their own modulation route and everything else. But you've got two ways you can use them: serial or parallel. The idea being on this, I think the multi-poly is really a modular synth in a convenient box. You've got two separate filters, and you can patch it in like a modular in serial, so that the output of this filter can go into this filter. So you can have two different filters. So you could have, say, a band pass on A and a high pass on B, or a Minimoog-style filter on filter A, and then to go through filter B, we're going to pass it through an MS-20 high pass with some resonance, like that kind of thing. So let me turn the filter B off first. So there, we've just got the single low pass filter on the monopoly filter. Some resonance on it. That is going through filter B, which is currently switched off, so it just passes everything straight through. Turn on filter B and then put a high pass filter on. So you can hear that resonance, but it's being filtered. So that filter is going through this filter, which can also have its own resonance and envelopes and everything else. So it's really useful. In parallel mode, they work independently, and you've got the filter route in there. So if I do it like so, as I sweep through it like this, it starts off on filter A and ends up on filter B. So it's another interesting way of routing them. It means that you could have two oscillators going to one filter, two oscillators going to the other, and make completely two independent layers of dual oscillator sound just using that one layer. It's nice and flexible. And really good way of working. I've got a video on using dual layer filters. So for now, for the rest of the video, I'm just going to stick to working with the single filter. And there we've got our filter there. So what are the different filters? Well, you've got a lot to choose from. So this is the multi-poly filter, or monopoly Polysix type filter. I find it quite a nice sort of sweet filter, and probably one I use the most. Incidentally, if you want to do this from the synth as well, you can directly go on here and you can change it. Just change it through there. You can choose the different filter types. It's easy for me to show you on the screen here. The next one is a Minimoog-style filter, which has got less resonance on it, but it's nice for sort of your bass sounds. I can very quickly put an envelope on it. Let's turn the filter down a bit. So that's a Minimoog type one. This one is modeled more on the Prophet 5. There's a lot more resonance on that. Incidentally, you can combine this with modeling the filter at the amp envelope, say Prophet. And start driving that filter. You get some really interesting effects on there. The next one is the MS-20, which is a much more aggressive filter. You get a lot of... See, that's even the drive down. You can hear that sort of aggressive distortion sounding, especially if I change this. So it's a really good aggressive filter. And then there's a high pass version of that. That's great, isn't it? The drive down. I like the high pass filter. Great for creating sort of string sounds, that kind of thing. Then we've got the SEM filter. So think of the SEM boxes used on the Oberheim type synths. So I use this for a lot for Oberheim type sounds. Where the Oberheim, where you could get the little module boxes and put them all together. It's got a little bit of resonance on it, but what's got really nice is this crossfade, which goes between low pass right through the band pass to high pass. Which all these are. This is a modifiable control, so you can have an envelope on this or multiple sequencer or an LFO. So nice filter, that one. And then you've got some others. You've got a ladder, high pass and band pass, which are self-resonating. Then we've got the 2-pole and the 4 poles. So the 2-pole is 12 dB per octave. The 4 poles is 24 dB per octave. I find these are very good for sort of Minimoog type filters. What I used to use on the ModWave, I tend to use the Pro one, the Minimoog one now, but yeah, they are good for that, and they've got quite predictable slopes on them as well, so they're really good for. And because I found with these 2-pole and these 4-pole, they're quite predictable on the resonance, so they're easier to tune than some of the other filters to make the resonant tuned. And then you got here like the band pass. Which I really like the band pass filters. They're again, I like the band pass filters. You can get some nice sort of stringy and vocal, especially vocal type sounds from it. Maybe I have to turn that filter intensity down a bit. So you can get sort of almost into vocal territory with the band pass. And you've got an option there with the bass as well for a tight sort of bass or a more Minimoog type bass or more crossfade type style bass. And then we've got a band reject, which is kind of the opposite of a band pass. So the band pass is kind of squeezing it in, the band reject is doing it that way. Get some nice for string ensembles, I think that would be. With a bit of LFO on there. Slow that LFO down. Let's just put amp envelope. Yeah, it makes quite a nice string ensemble type sounds. And then you've got this multi-filter, which is really handy sometimes. You can get exactly what you want. So this is where you can have 2 filters and there's a crossfade between them. So we're crossfading at 66% towards that filter. So we've got low pass and a low pass. But I could go for the band reject and a low pass. So all low pass, all band reject. And I can modify that with LFO. Or chaos or... But look at all those options you've got there, and you've even got a low pass, a high pass, a band pass, and low pass as well. So you've got some interesting combinations you can do. So you could do a band reject and a low pass, high pass, band pass. So you can do these combinations yourself. So it's really useful function. So another interesting effect you've got here is this audio source. So it's a kind of additional mod of the filter. You can choose what you want. So you can choose an oscillator. So when you turn that on, like, you can hear that sort of fizzing sound like it. So an interesting effect, and like I said, everything's duplicated on here, so you've got two complete filters. So there you go. There you can see we've got a number of options with filters and loads of ways of combining them with all the mod routing and everything else. So there's so much you can do with it. If you've got a question about a specific part of it, please let me know and I'll look at doing a tutorial just for that, because I think I want to know what interests you, and then I can focus on that. If there's one of the filters or any particular ways of routing them and everything else, let me know. There is a video about parallel filters on the YouTube channel. If you guys suggest for anything else, please let me know. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you on the next one.